Welcome to the Sheriff Review for the Rutgers game. And, this was a 24-10 win for the Louisville Cardinals. And a lot of people said that Teddy Bridgewater was off and the Louisville Cardinals were off offensively. And yes, there were a lot of execution issues, especially in the red zone, that killed drives where Louisville should have had points and didn't get points. And we'll go over a lot of those instances in this game, but in the end, this is a 461-yard performance. And the Cardinals only allowed 240 yards and only 3 of 13 conversions on third down. That's very good. They dominated time of possession at 33 minutes and 12 seconds. Teddy Bridgewater on an off night was 21 of 31 for 310 yards and 2 touchdowns. He did throw 1 interception right before halftime, which we'll show you. But overall, I think this was an outstanding defensive performance. Cards tallied 8 sacks. They had 4 interceptions. Like I said, they allowed only 240 yards of offense to a team that was averaging almost 500 yards a game, and also over 40 points a game. Only allowed 10 points. So people can be upset about this game if they want to, but Rutgers is a team we beat by 3 last year, beat them by 14 this year. That's improvement to me. I'm not upset about this game at all, and I know that people want to blow teams out. That's kind of unrealistic, but let's go through play by play what Louisville did well, what Louisville did poorly, and where they can improve before they play Central Florida this week. The kickoff strategy for the Cards all night was to pooch kickoff to avoid Rutgers' big-time return game and really neutralize that so they could never really take advantage of that particular play. Gary Nova fumbled the opening snap of the first down, and on second down, Calvin Pryor levels the Rutgers running back, sets the tone early. Rutgers was only allowed to get 12 rushing yards all night. That was a big play. And then here on third down, Louisville flushes Nova from the pocket, forces a bad throw, and it's punt time. On this particular play, it's a really nice throw and catch from Teddy Bridgewater to Damian Copeland, and it's a first down. But really, the play that happens here is Lou Toller getting injured. He broke his arm on the play. He runs into his knee of his own player while trying to make a tackle. Kind of a really unfortunate play, but at the time, Lou Toller was the 5th leading tackler and really one of the few veterans in the Rutgers secondary. So this was a big play early in terms of thinning out the Rutgers secondary and the depth. Unfortunate injury. Hate to see that happen, but the Cardinals really took advantage of this. This is a big-time run for the Cards. Focus on the offensive line here. You see, the left side of the line of Jamon Brown and John Miller, and also Jake Smith, really close out the gaps. And then Chris Acosta comes out around and pulls and leads the way for Sonoris Perry with Ryan Hubble as well. When Sonoris Perry can get 4 yards up the field before getting touched, he's going to make big plays. And we see this here on a 12, 13-yard carry for the Louisville Cardinals in the first down. This red zone series, a lot of fans took issue with, mainly because it was unimaginative in their opinion. First, let's watch Nacho Garcia get a holding penalty. He obviously does this. You can't hold on run plays, especially inside the 5-yard line, because if you give up a loss, it's not that big a deal. You give up 2 yards and you live to play another day. Garcia holds here, so the Cards are moved back. Louisville does rush twice on first and second down. I don't really like the play call on first down. The second down call is not that terrible, but to throw just one pass and have that one pass be a fade route, it's a low percentage fade route. You have the best quarterback in football. I really feel like Louisville needs to take advantage of Teddy Bridgewater here in the red zone more, and I do think that they need to run the football, but maybe not what they did here on this possession. This is a great defensive series for Louisville. On first down here, you see Marcus Smith come out and just totally blow up this screen from the linebacker position. He's a defensive end playing linebacker, just totally messes this up. And then you see Marcus Smith from the other side as a down lineman come in and get a sack on Gary Nova. I really want to take a look at this play, and he takes him to church. But the right tackle from Rutgers, what is he doing? He just didn't even block the Cardinal goes in coverage. He lets Marcus Smith go right by him. And then Lozo moment. Lorenzo Malden gets a sack for him, and the tight end just lets him go straight by him. I cannot believe both of those sacks, but that was Gary Nova's night. This play here is a touchdown that Louisville does not get. It could be a huge gainer, a statement play. Michael Lee Harris is wide open. Teddy Bridgewater and the offense sets it up just absolutely perfectly. And Teddy Bridgewater floats that ball just a little bit over Michael Lee Harris's head. The safety is beat. The corner is beat. The ball just has to be delivered, and Teddy just misses. A lot of people want to see more Michael Dyer, and this is probably a reason why he's not playing as much as we expected him to. Pass protection. On this particular play, Dyer makes a terrible attempt to pass protect for Teddy Bridgewater, and it causes a sack. Louisville has good protection on the left side, and then Michael Dyer's missed block causes Teddy to shuffle his feet, and that's enough time for Rutgers to come up and get a sack. So that play there might be the reason why Cardinal fans aren't seeing more Michael Dyer right now. Like I said in the beginning, Louisville had an outstanding night of defense, and we can just sit around and watch plays like this all day. I don't even know if I really need to specifically comment on them. They're just outstanding defensive football plays, and it's capped off here with James Burgess. First interception of Gary Nova on the night. Really wanted Burgess to take this to the house. If he'd have cut up, maybe he might have been able to make a play, but still a fantastic play for Burgess. The Philadelphia Eagles scout that I sat next to loves him, wants him to put on a little bit more size, but just says he's a playmaker, and there's no argument with making plays. As is often the case after a turnover, teams go for the jugular. That's what Louisville does here. Here, Teddy Bridgewater finds Kai De La Cruz for a touchdown. Kai De La Cruz's man literally just falls down, and when that happens, Teddy Bridgewater already was going to throw the ball to Kai, but that made the throw even easier. You get a good look at the fall here, but I mean, just very, very easy throw and catch for Teddy. Should have been like that all night, but it wasn't. The defense just bailed them out time after time. Here's another play over the middle. The Cards should have had an interception. Gary Nova throwing the ball directly to Cardinal defenders. I don't know what he's thinking, but Louisville took advantage with 4 interceptions in the day. Check out the offensive line on these two plays. Man, Teddy Bridgewater has so much time. He's able to scramble out of the pocket, get a nice run, something he does not like to do. He still cannot slide. It's a terrible attempt at getting down, but just look at the offensive line. I mean, Jake Smith, Chris Acosta, John Miller, Jamon Brown, even on the other side, with Ryan Mack. I mean, that was just all kinds of great protection. And then on this run for Sonoris Perry, it's a delayed handoff. They let him go. They let the rusher go up the field, and Sonoris Perry just has all kinds of room to run, and he goes all the way down to the 2-yard line. I was loving the defense all day long. I mean, Terrell Floyd comes up here and makes a play in the flat. The flats are not working for Rutgers at all. And here's a play on 3rd and 8 where Louisville should get off the field. They actually have Nova sacked. They have all the pressure they need. They just need to close out, and they don't. They allow rush lane to form right in front of Nova. He can step up. He can throw. He can find his man for a first down and extend the drive. And it was good coverage. I mean, you can't be angry with the coverage at all. The front 7 just needed to get their sack there because they had Nova down. This is just an outstanding play from Roy Philon on 3rd and 1. This sets up a field goal attempt, or actually a fake field goal attempt, but see just Roy just come in and just make a just fantastic play on the ball. But then the field goal attempt, Rutgers, right now Louisville just needed to call timeout. They were not lined up. They were not ready at all. This was a play that should have never occurred. They lined up in a field goal, and they had their field goal personnel on the field, and they broke out of it, and they got a huge play, the biggest play of the game, really. And then on the touchdown, Preston Brown loses the tight end. I really think the timeout needed to happen before the field goal or after the field goal. They didn't take a timeout at all, and I think the Louisville defense was just out of sorts and allowed a score. Ran a reception from Teddy Bridgewater here. He thinks he looks over the safety to the field a little bit more than he does. Safety comes over and makes a fantastic play on the ball. Didn't look like when Teddy threw it in person that the safety was going to be able to get there, but he, on a dead sprint, was able to get there. So big play from them and giving them some credit. I guess before halftime, Rutgers felt like they needed to see what they could do. Marcus Smith comes up, gets a sack, his second of the day, and then Gary Nova throws one of the weirdest balls you'll ever see. I mean, there is nobody there. The routes are all, combined. There's so many Cardinal defenders in the area that he's throwing in, and Hakeem Smith brings down the ball. So I know they're forcing a play, trying to get something before halftime, but you don't want to pick six before halftime either. So I don't understand that play call from Rutgers, but the Cardinals get it and move on. Here's an improvement in the run game the Cards can make. Here, Michael Dyer has a defender in his lap because Ryan Mack misses his assignment. Chris Acosta's pulling. Ryan Mack needs to reach out and grab that guy and keep him from shooting the gap and getting to him. Then here, Teddy Bridgewater, just absolutely sickening throw and catch with great footwork to Damian Copeland. He sees the blitz coming up the middle. He flushes to the right, and then he has a receiver right there. And that's just absolutely just pro dominance. That's just being the best player on the field. As good as Teddy is, it's kind of puzzling when he throws a ball like this. I have no idea what that ball was doing. But we're moving on. Here, you see Michael Dyer. He has nowhere to run because basically everybody misses their block. Jake Smith, John Miller, Chris Acosta, everybody really. I mean, this was just terrible offensive line play all the way around. I mean, that's one of those plays where Dave Borbley looks up and says, "What was that, guys?" Here's another possession that Cardinal fans took issue with inside the red zone. Here's a first down run, and then a second down run, followed by a third down pass. So it's very predictable, and the pass is incomplete over the head of Ryan Hubble, and then a field goal block. Now, this is something that has slowly become a noticeable issue. John Wallace getting his field goals blocked. This has happened quite a bit, actually, especially since the Sugar Bowl, and he's had a couple extra points get blocked. He's had a couple field goals get blocked, and he's very accurate, but you cannot have your balls go that low so that defenders can come in and take away points from your team. This is a big run play that happens because three Cardinal defenders just fall down. I mean, if you look at it at the point of attack, just look right in the middle, and you see one blocker, the Rutgers left guard, or right guard actually, basically cuts down three Cardinal defenders with his body. And if that happens, if one guy can block three, well, then you're going to break off a lot of long runs. And on this play, that's exactly what happened with the Louisville Cardinals. Now, on the very next play, Hakeem Smith gets in on the sack action. He's up near the line of scrimmage. He's on a safety blitz. He comes in. He's untouched. The left tackle or actually the tight end for the Rutgers Scarlet Knights doesn't even account for him at all, and Hakeem Smith easily gets in there for the sack. Here's a great example of Louisville football not being as crisp and Teddy Bridgewater not being as crisp. This is a ball that is just inexplicable from Teddy Bridgewater. He's never this inaccurate. He misses Michael Lee Harris badly underneath. The ball floats. It's a duck. That does not happen typically for the University of Louisville. And then here, Sonoris Perry, rare play from him. He gets stripped. We don't see that very much from Sonoris Perry. He gets a lot of carries. He hardly ever gets the ball knocked out of his hands. We'll excuse it because we won the football game, but that cannot happen that close to your own end zone because you need to defend that end zone. And Rutgers gets great field position here, and they're able to capitalize on with a field goal. The defense for Louisville bailed them out all night, and these are two great plays. One here from Calvin Pryor. He does a great job of working through the block, going in and making a play for a tackle for loss on the Rutgers running back. I think that Calvin just really made an outstanding play there. And then Roy Filon gets in on the act on the sack party, goes in, takes Gary Nova down. That was a big play for him. I mean, look at how he works right around that left tackle, all the way around him on a stunt, and that was just a fantastic play. Here's a great play from Teddy Bridgewater. This is a Teddy that we're used to seeing. He finds Michael Lee Harris on a big, big play into the red zone, and then Jamon Brown absolutely loses his man, does not bother blocking him, and that's a hit that you can never, ever allow your quarterback to take. There are 26 NFL scouts in the house at Papa John's Cardinal Stadium, and they all saw this play. So if Jamon had any hope of leaving Louisville early as a junior and going into the NFL draft, that really ended on this play because the NFL is not going to draft tackles who allow that type of hit on their quarterbacks. Jamon will need a year of seasoning in order to get into the NFL. Here, Calvin Pryor gets into the interception act with a great play, big time, timely play, excites the crowd, incites his team, and really this is a huge reason why Louisville's able to win this game, because Calvin Pryor comes across from the field and makes a great play on the ball to intercept Gary Nova. The crowd went nuts, and at this point in time, only up 7 points, giving Rutgers the ball with 8 minutes to play. This play really gave Louisville the confidence enough to come down and score their final touchdown of the game and close it out. So big play. See, Charlie Strong is just fired up. We love to see that from Coach Strong. And when he does that, the players get around him, and we all do as fans too. Here is another missed throw from Teddy Bridgewater. This is a touchdown to Damian Copeland. There's nobody around. Teddy throws the ball about 6 feet out of bounds. Damian Copeland is not a go-go gadget. He cannot keep his feet in bounds and catch this football. He does make a great play on the ball, but man, that's just a missed opportunity. And then John Wallace goes and misses the 45-yard field goal that would have given the Cards a 2-score lead. But even after the missed field goal, Gary Nova in pressure situations gives the ball over to the Louisville Cardinals. Terrell Floyd here again picks off Gary Nova. Has a nice return. Looks like he might be able to break something out if he gets another player to miss. But we saw it all night. Gary Nova forcing throws in pressure situations. This is not a ball that really should have been thrown. It definitely missed through it to begin with. And then, you see Teddy Bridgewater scrambling, moving down the field, moving the change, and again, he cannot slide. So we need to work on that with Dan McDonnell to get Teddy Bridgewater to not give himself a concussion while sliding. Cardinal fans were frustrated with the running game all day, but this is a fantastic team run again. Sonoris Perry busts through the hole. He's not even touched until he's at the 15-yard line. A huge run to the right side. Ryan Mack blows up in a huge hole. John Miller pulls and comes over and busts a huge hole for Sonoris Perry to run through. That is excellent team football and led to the score that would allow the Louisville Cardinals to build a 2-score lead and close out the game in the final 2 minutes of this game to Eli Rogers in the slot around a very nice little delayed play. He kind of goes in, makes a little hitch right around the 5-yard line and moves towards the post. That is a really very good football play. Teddy shows patience on Eli Rogers, comes in, makes this play, and then Gary Nova sacked. That was really the theme of the day. That time they just get pressure, and then they sack him again. So Sheldon Rankins gets in on the party, and Gary Pressure was just under siege all night long. It did not help when players are dropping balls, and then Andrew Johnson gets some late hit penalty. I don't even understand that one, but we're gonna move on. Then Sheldon Rankins goes in there and bats the ball down. Teddy Bridgewater takes a knee. The Cardinals win. Big win, 6-0. It is a big-time win because now you're 2-0 in the conference. You took out one of the major contenders in conference play. Now next week you get Central Florida, a chance to really take a stranglehold on the American Athletic Conference. And this was a big win. The national media can say what they're going to say about being down or only winning by 14 points. Louisville has never trailed this season. No one's come within 14 points of them all year. Louisville left points on the field tonight, and that's just something that teams do. And when that happens, the defense steps up, and Louisville won by 2 scores anyway. So we'll move on. Big time. We'll see Friday night, Central Florida, for a chance to go 7-0.